Mogul Motivation, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs and dream chasers worldwide, 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. If this is your first time listening, please subscribe to this podcast on any platform you're listening to it on right now. This podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur trying to get over that hump and make things happen. This podcast is for anybody with a dream that wants to go forward and accomplish that dream. There's a viral post that I see on social media often, and it speaks to the effect of something like this. It says, like, a lot of people believe 100,000 is a lot of money until you start making 100,000 and you realize it's not a lot of money. You know, I've seen that post on Instagram, Facebook. I've seen it on Threads. And, you know, I'll be first to say that as an entrepreneur, as a full-time self-employed individual, I do not generate $100,000 in revenue a year yet. I have not touched that milestone. But I remember the days when I first started my entrepreneurial journey over 10 years ago. I would literally go months without booking a photo shoot. I would literally go months without generating any sort of income from my business, you know, and I would just barely be afloat from my job, my day job at the time. And then when I decided to go full time as an entrepreneur in 2017, roughly, I still remember moments where, you know, my account was in the negative and things like that. I remember, you know, when my phone would be cut off, when, you know, I wouldn't be able to pay my bills, the smallest amount of bills at that, because I was not generating any revenue. I remember those days vividly. I'm blessed to say that, you know, in this season in my entrepreneurial journey, you know, over 15 years later, almost 10 years later as being full-time self-employed, that I'm generating constant income. You know, I'm booking 4-figure, 5-figure contracts. I'm grateful for that because although I'm not where I want to be yet, although I do not net or gross $100,000 a year yet, I remember what it used to be like when I was barely making $10, $100. So I'm grateful for every single penny that I earn in my business from my creative endeavors, whether it be from selling my books, whether it be from my photography services. It does not matter what it is. I'm grateful for every single penny now. And I had to go through that humbling season so I can understand that it's not about hitting a home run. Sometimes it's about hitting a single. Sometimes it's about hitting a double. So with that being said, for those who are complaining about $100,000 is not a lot, times is hard for everybody in this world. You have the rich elite class constantly squeezing the working poor and the working class and the quote unquote middle class, passing legislation, always giving tax breaks to the big guys, but forcing more taxes and more debt on the little guys. It's hard for everybody. So if $100,000 after taxes for you is $70,000, well, imagine what $70,000 would be after taxes. Once you understand that, you're going to really wish you had that $100,000 once more, because the money that you are making now is providing you the opportunity and the ability to do what you need to do in your life. Yes, it may be tight. Yes, it may be hard, but nonetheless, you have that opportunity. You have to understand we erase our blessings when we elevate our burdens. The blessing is always greater than the burden. The blessing is always going to last longer than the burden. But when we erase our blessings by telling ourselves, oh, this is not a lot of money, and we elevate our burdens by saying it's not a lot of money because we're focused on the taxes, on the bills, and all of these things, we are doing ourselves and our spirits a disservice. Every single thing that we accomplish, every single thing that we have in our possession right now is a blessing from God. And we need to elevate that and glorify that. And this applies not just from a monetary standpoint. This applies to every single thing in your life. I'm a runner. I love running. I run 5Ks. There was a point in time where I was running 23-minute 5Ks like clockwork. But then Chicago winter set in. My consistency was broken. And it was rough for me to break 26 minutes. And in that moment, I was like, man, I had it good when I was running those 23 minutes because I was so focused on trying to hit 20 minutes, I didn't appreciate the 23 minutes. But since now I'm running 26 minutes, I am looking at those 23 minutes like, man, I wish I can get back there. So you have to understand that when you erase your blessings, you are elevating your burdens. $100,000 may not seem like a lot, but it's enough for what you need to do right now. And you're going to get to where you need to be in due time. Be grateful for every penny that you earn in your business. Be grateful for your salary in your career. Be grateful for where you are right now in your story. You might not be where you want to be, but I bet you do not want to be where you used to be. So that's my message today, everybody. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. Don't erase your blessings anymore. Don't elevate your burdens anymore. You have to understand that when you are ungrateful, it can become very expensive to learn and understand that. So if this podcast has benefited you in any way, shape, or form, I ask for two things as always. Number one, please leave a 5-star review. And number two, pass it on to a friend who may benefit from it as well. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you next week.